Welcome to the TSL Judging School for the ISU International Judging System new rules for the 2018-2019 season. This summer, the ISU passed Communication 2168, and unless you're Megan Duhamel, you probably haven't spent too much time reviewing this document. It'll have all of the important changes for this season. The biggest change for this season is that the ISU is now judging on a +5, -5 scale for grades of execution. Communication 2168 outlines the updated jump values, how to earn bullets, and how to assess deductions. I really like the +5, -5 thus far because adding and subtracting the grade of execution is really easy, and it makes me feel smart. Now, if a skater earns a +1, they earn 10% of the base value. A +2 is 20%. Conversely, if the skater loses -1 for a jump, that is -10%, a -2 is -20%. So this is a little bit easier than previously. One of the most important things to remember when assessing GOE is that it is a summation of both the positives of the jump as well as the deductions. So we do get into +2, -3, +1, -4 in theory, although there is no proof that the judges actually do that when assessing each element. A jump could often have very good height and very good length, have steps before it that are creative and unexpected, and be matched to the music, as well as having a terrible landing. So the judges should take all of that into account when assessing a jump. It's not just a negative or a positive when assessing a jump, and most people forget this. The judges now have 6 bullets to award for positive jump GOE. Bullet 1, very good height and very good length. Bullet 2, good takeoff and landing. 3, effortless throughout. 4, 5, and 6, 4, steps before the jump, creative and unexpected entry. 5, very good body position from takeoff to landing. And 6, element matches the music. Here's where things get a little bit crazy, and I'm not sure whether judges will actually be able to remember this in real time. But if a jump is going to earn a +4 or a +5, which is what someone like a Yuzuru Hanyu is aiming for, the jump element must get the first 3 bullets and then 2 of the last 3. So the skater must earn bullets 1, 2, and 3 on a jump, and then 2 of 4, 5, and 6 if they wanted to get a +5. Now, if you're just going for a +1, the skater can earn any of the 6 bullets. For a +2, any of the 2, and for a +3, any of the 3. But for a +4 or +5, it must get 1, 2, and 3, and then have 2 of steps before the jump, unexpected or creative entry, very good body position from takeoff to landing, and element matches the music. Now, a skater could get a +3 for very good height and very good length, a good takeoff and landing, and then have it match the music. Or perhaps very good height and very good length, steps before the jump, and the element could match the music, but perhaps the skater really isn't having the best takeoff and landing or body position on the jump. The deductions are also outlined in the document, and the great thing about the scale of values this year is that it actually takes under rotations into account when assessing the GOE and the base value, so it's really simple for fans to learn. Now, because I have a middle school teaching degree in math, and a master's at least in being judgmental, I thought we could go through some of the skaters and see how we would assess their jump GOE based on the new criteria. Let's start with Yuzuru Hanyu at the 2018 Autumn Classic. We were all excited to see Hanyu return to competition, and this is an opportunity to really see a skater who has the potential to earn a +4 or +5 on several elements. So let's start with Hanyu's quad Salchow, which he opened his program with. I definitely say that the quad Salchow has very good height and very good length. It has a very good takeoff. Now, is it effortless? I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to give that about a 50%. And a tonal is the kind of music that the element does match the music, but it's not spectacularly musical. So overall, I'm giving him about 50%, and I'm going to give him a +3 for this element. I didn't really see any deductions. I didn't think it had a spectacular landing to offer it, and I didn't quite think that it was effortless. So I'm going to give him 3 bullets overall, because I think that his body position was also commendable. And the judges gave him +3 to +4, so I am with range there. Let's look at the triple axel now. The triple axel is probably Hanyu's best element, And I can really see why he gets very good height and very good length, good takeoff and landing, and effortless throughout. And then to also look at steps before the jump, they're definitely creative and an unexpected entry. I thought the exit was also phenomenal. A very good body position, and an element matches the music. So I thought he did deserve 6 bullets here. The only problem is that the landing is slightly weak if we are going to review it, and that should be a -1 to a -2. So I thought overall the element should be a +4, but I could see it getting a +5. The judges here went +1 to +4, so they also kept it within range. So the element there I'm saying is a +4. Now let's look at the quad toe, triple toe. The interesting thing is that Hanyu didn't perform this element within the bonus, so he didn't go for the extra 10%. He didn't really need it here. Now let's look. I would say that he had very good height and very good length, and I would also say that the jump had very good body position, and it was matched to the music. Again, I don't think that the landing was quite as successful here. It was slightly shaky. So I'm going to give it a +1 overall. It was a +3 -2 situation for a +1 overall. And the judges went -1 to +3. So there was some disparity there, and we are going to see more ridiculous ranges on the +5, -5 GOE, as you could have expected. Now let's look at the math for Yuzuru Hanyu. The quad Saukow earns 9.7 points for base value. He also gets 2.91 in GOE for a +3 because he's getting 30%. So overall, I gave him 12.61 for the jump, and the judges gave him 13.19, so I'm within range there. Now the triple axel, it has a base value of 8.0, and I gave him a +4, which is +3.2, for 11.2 overall. The judges actually gave him 10.72 points there, so I'm a little bit friendly for once. Now looking at the combination, he gets 9.5 in base value for the quad toe and 4.2 for the triple toe. So he gets 13.7 in base value. Now he gets a +1 on each of the elements, so that's +0.95 and +0.42 for 15.07 overall, and the judges gave him 15.42. Overall, I gave Yuzuru Hanyu 38.88, and the judges gave him 39.32, and I think that inflation is probably pretty expected considering that the judges are judging in real time, and I'm judging on my computer at home where I can review this as many times as I want, knowing that there will be people in the comments coming for me if I am too high or too low. Now let's look at Shoma Uno at the 2018 Lombardia Trophy. Shoma starts his program with a quad flip. Now, if you've ever seen Kula King's YouTube channel, you will know that Shoma Uno is criticized for having a pre-rotation on his quad flip, and he indeed does pre-rotate. And you can really see that here. Now, it's more evident in slow-mo than in real time, but when we're assessing the positives of the jump, we should take it into account. I will definitely give him the bullet for height and length. I'll give him body position. And I'm kind of going to give him a 50% in terms of takeoff and landing effortlessness and musicality. It's not exceptionally musical here. And the takeoff and landing and the effortlessness, it's hard to give that full points when we do know about the pre-rotation. So I'm going to give him a +3 overall, which is probably about as well as Shoma Uno could hope for on this element. Now, he continued with a quad toe, double toe combination. Obviously, we know that Shoma Uno is planning to do a quad toe, triple toe. So the double toe should be a red flag that there's some kind of issue in terms of the takeoff and landing and the effortlessness to the jump. Effortlessness. Okay, so I'm going to give him height and length. I'm going to give him body position. And I'm also going to give him musicality here, but it doesn't have the greatest flow and the greatest landing. So the flow is much of a bigger concern between the jumps, which is obviously the reason for the double toe because he lost speed. So I'm going to give it a +1 overall when assessing +2 to +3 and then taking the deductions into account. And the judges were within range as well. Now, let's look at the triple axel. He does the triple axel in the bonus. Now, the triple axel is quite exceptional. There's good height. There is a good takeoff. Again, effortlessness, yes, no. It has a good body position. And it is kind of on the music. So that's about a +4. For me, it didn't have the best landing. So when I'm doing +5 -1, I'm going to give it a +4 overall because it didn't have that swoosh landing that was like butter, that we really need to give a +5 and live with ourselves at the end of the night. So let's do the math for Shoma Uno's jumps in his short program. For the quad flip, he earns a base value of 11 points and a grade of execution of 3.3 points when taking in the +3, for a total of 14.3. The judges actually gave him a 14.74 because a couple of judges gave him a +4, and they don't have YouTube commenters to yell at them, and in real time, perhaps it did seem better, but if we're really looking at the pre-rotation, I do think that the +3 is probably what's appropriate in that case. For the quad toe double toe, I gave it remember of +1. So let's look. The base value he gets for each jump, 9.5 for the quad toe and a 1.3 for the double toe. The GOE, he gets +1, so that's 0.95 and 0.13. That 1.3 could be a big difference at any moment. So overall, he gets 11.88 points for the jump. The judges gave him 13.65. Given that it is a double toe instead of a triple toe, I do think that that is a little bit high here. Let's look at his triple axel. This is where some ISU algebra comes into play. He does a triple axel beautifully in the bonus. So the base value is for a triple axel is 8 points. Now he gets the 10% bonus added to it, so he gets 8.8. Now an important reminder, base value gets the 10%, but the GOE is just based off of the normal triple axel. So a +4 is 40% of the base value, so he's getting an extra 3.2 points added on to the 8.8 for a total of 12. The judges gave him 11.36 here, so I was actually slightly more generous than the judges for once. So, we all can feel good about ourselves. Overall, I awarded Shoma Uno 38.18 points, and the judges gave him 39.75. Looking at things under a microscope, I do think that the 38.18 is probably more appropriate for him, but I do understand the 39.75 for seeing things with the emotion and the speed in real time. Our third example today is Jason Brown. Now, Jason Brown is one of those skaters who really is believed to benefit from a +5 -5 system, but as we're going to see here, I'm not sure if it really is helping him as much because the other skaters can earn even more points. Now, Jason is a very clean skater, and he really did do a great job at the Autumn Classic on his first 2 jump elements. The triple flip I gave a +3 to. I thought he was in line for the bullets 1, 2, 3, and 5. And just that would be very good height and very good length, good takeoff and landing, effortlessness throughout. And I thought he did have a nice body position. Now, there was a slight hesitation on the landing, which I thought was only a -1, so I would give him +3 for the jump. He really didn't get the steps, and it doesn't have the biggest impact for the music, although it is nice, it's just not exceptionally musical. Now, the triple axel is probably the best triple axel I've ever seen Jason do in his career. I'm going to give him 4 bullets, and remember, that only means that he could get a +3 because you need bullets 1, 2, and 3 to get a +4, even though I do think he's deserving of 4 bullets. This is being nitpicky, but let's discuss the bullets in Jason's triple axel. I think he deserves very good height and very good length, and I also think he deserves good takeoff and landing. Now, effortlessness throughout, I can't really give that to him in good conscience because we can see that Jason Brown is really stalking the jump. And as viewers, we know Jason's history. We know he's nervous. We're nervous to watch it. And I really don't think that it's quite effortless, but it is a great jump. He doesn't have steps before it, and it's not exceptionally musical, but I do think he has a very good body position. And you know what? The musical overall and effortlessness. So I think he deserves 4 bullets for a +3 here because he doesn't get 1, 2, and 3. And remember, the thing that we know about the triple axel, and Doug Haw was reminding us, is that most of the top men are doing this jump with a quick entry. So when Jason does the long edge and looks nervous going into it, that's probably an indication that it's not going to be the most effortless jump. Now let's look at the triple Lutz, triple toe combination. Jason's edge actually seems better here on the triple Lutz. It looked like a cleaner edge, and the judges didn't give him a warning or an edge call. And I think that that's definitely a positive development. But the triple Lutz is slightly under-rotated. So he does get 1 carat for that, but the triple toe is clean. Now, the triple Lutz, for being under-rotated, has a decent ride-out to it, but the triple toe really kind of has a weak landing. So this is where we add up. I thought he had about -4 in the overall deductions for the jump, but I do think that the jump did have a nice height to it and overall had a nice length. So I think we're going to give Jason -2 here for the jump overall. And the judges actually went from -3 to +1. So they were a little bit conflicted as what to do about this combination as well. And I think that's something we're going to see when skaters are making mistakes under pressure. Now let's do the math for Jason Brown. This is where we see the difference. Jason does a triple flip instead of a quad for his opening jump. He only earns 5.3 points in base value. He does get +3, which gives him plus 1.59, but again, the GOE isn't as big as it would be if he were trying a more difficult jump. So overall, he gets 6.89 points. His biggest earner here in this program is the triple axel. The triple axel was great, and he should be commended for really improving that jump. The base value is 8 points. Now, because he gets +3, he gets an additional 2.4 points added to it for a total of 10.4. So that's actually his highest point earner in this short program. Now, this is why I like the new scale of values, because it outlines the under-rotated triple Lutz as earning 4.43 points, so we don't really have to do any math there. And then he gets 4.2 points for the clean triple toe. Now remember, Jason does get an extra 10% bonus for the base value, so overall he earns 9.49 points, and adding up the deductions, he loses 1.73 for a total of 7.76 points. Now overall, I gave Jason 25.05, and the judges gave him 26.67. Again, I do think that's rather in range, comparing that I'm judging this on my computer and that the judges are judging this in real time. I'm curious, do you like the +5, -5 for the GOE? What would you have awarded for Hanyu, for Shoma Uno, and for Jason Brown? What do you think about the bullets, the +4, the +5? Are the judges going to be able to remember all of that in their head, or is it just general impression? Do you like the new bullets better than the old bullets? If you like this video, please remember to subscribe below and tell us, who should we judge next? Do you want to see us do the ladies? Would you rather see spins first, footwork? Do you want to see it all together? And should we do a whole program of any of the skaters? So let us know, and we're going to try to do this and film these regularly throughout the season. Thanks so much. Hold an edge and look sexy.